I'm just tea. Come and cook with me. I'm just tea. Come and cook with me. I'm just tea. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your girl Just T coming at you guys with a nice little recipe today. It's gonna take a little while to make it, but trust me, it's gonna be all worth it in the end. Today we are making birria tacos. Birria queso tacos. We making that. All right, but I'm gonna jump into this video really quick, you guys, and I'm gonna go through the steps as I do them. So first, you guys, I have a pot that I have on the stove that I will show you guys in a second, and I am just putting my dried chiles in there, and I just want to show you guys one of them. It's gonna look like this. This is the guajillo chili, and so I'm just gonna cut the top off because I want to get the seeds out of it. So I'm just cutting the top off of it like that. I'm going to open it up, and I'm just going to empty all the seeds out into my trash. So, all right, but I'll take you guys over there and show you guys that as well while it's on the stove. Okay, guys, so back here in this pot, I have 6 of the guajillo. Look here, I ain't even going to try to pronounce all these Mexican words and everything, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to catch myself up like that. I'm going to show you guys the chiles that I am using. All right, so I have 6 of these seeded in here as well. And also have about 2 or 3 of these in here. These you want to be very careful with because they are really spicy. So if you don't like spice, then I would just suggest maybe only using 1 of those. I think I have like about 2 or 3 of those in there. And I have 1 ancho chili in there as well. And that's these. And it looks like this, seeded as well. All right. And what I'm going to do is just let this come to a boil. Then I'm going to turn it off, cover it up with the lid, and just let it steep for like about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to take those off, and then I'll bring you guys back with that. But we're going to jump on over to the meat. Okay. Okay, guys. So I have a little bit of canola oil in this pan, and I'm going to just sear all of my meat that I have. And what I have, I'm going to be using some chuck roast, and I just cut them up into big pieces. And I also have 2 beef shanks as well that I'm going to just brown. All right, so the beef shank and chuck roast, and we're just gonna brown those. So I'm trying to let my pan get really hot. Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting my meat in here just so I can brown this on all sides. And I'm gonna be doing this in a slow cooker, guys. All right. And I'm going to be seasoning my meat when I take it out of here. I'm not going to season it right now. Now I have my beef shanks in, and I'm going to just brown those on both sides and take those out. And I'm going to add those into my crock pot, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, guys, so in here I'm just going to season these with some of my steak and chop seasoning. Now you can season your meat with whatever it is that you want to season it with, but I actually like the way this tastes. So I'm just going to put some on the bottom with this. I'm going to put those beef shanks in here as well. And I'm just going to season that as well with some of this. I'd rather put a little bit of seasoning first, you know, because you can always go back in, and being that there's going to be so much other stuff going on in this pot, I don't want to over season it. So I'd rather under season it than to put more seasoning in. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the sauce that we're going to be adding into here. Okay. And I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, guys. So I went ahead and took my chiles out of the water that they were sitting in for like 2 minutes. And I'm going to also add a chipotle pepper in here as well. It's going to take 1. Add that in there. I want some of the little stuff that's inside of it too. So I'm going to get a little bit of that out. I'm also going to add a little bit of beef broth in here as well. Now, you have a blender go ahead, use your blender. Mine is packed up, so I am using my food processor. So I'm just going to go ahead and just whisk it all up in this thing right here. I'm just going to grind it all up, guys. All right, I'll bring you guys right back. So now all I'm going to do is just go ahead and strain it a little bit. So the pieces that didn't go through my food processor so well, they won't get in here. So I'm just going to just strain it. And see there, so you don't get those pieces in there, you know. 'Cause this right here, you ain't gonna be able to chew through it. Don't do it. Unless, you know, maybe you have a blender and yours can come out more, you know, more processed than mine. Okay, guys, so now we're about to add in some seasonings in here. So I have about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic that I just chopped up. Just gonna add that in here. And this was fresh garlic, guys. I have a small yellow onion. Gonna add that in here. And keep a little bit of that for later. And now also, let me show you guys, because I did get the cinnamon sticks, but I'm not going to use the cinnamon sticks. All right, because I know with that, you have to be really, really careful about how much you're putting in there. So I'm just going to go in with some cinnamon powder. It's going to use just a pinch. Just a pinch of it. Just a pinch. Also, we're going to go in with some of the beef bouillon. I'm going to use about 1.5 tablespoons of this. And I'll try and link everything in my description box for you guys as well. And I'm also going to go in with some oregano. This oregano is Mexican oregano, and it smells so different, guys. Like, you guys have to try it. So it really does have a different smell to it. Then I'm going to use about about a tablespoon of the oregano. I'm also going to go in with 1 envelope of Sazon. Also, I'm going to go in with 1 cube of, this is a tomato and chicken flavored bouillon. I love these too. These are really, really good. I use these when I make soups. So I'm going to go in with 1 of those cubes. I'm also going to go in, get my spoon, with some tomato paste. It's going to do like a clump of it. Just go in with the clump. And last thing I'm going to go in with is a can of diced tomatoes. Just going to add those in here. Well, not the last thing, because we're going to go in with some beef broth. I think I'm going to use about that much beef broth. Yeah, that's about good right there. Just trying to make sure that my meat is submerged down in here. And I'm going to set this on high in this slow cooker. And I'm going to let this go between 4 and 5 hours. Between 4 and 6 hours, I'll say, because I want this meat to get really, really tender. So I'll let you guys know my exact cook times, and I'll bring you guys back halfway through. All right, so I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to let it go on high for about 4 to 6 hours. Bring you guys back. Okay guys, so welcome back. So I went ahead and I slow cooked my meat for a total of about 5 hours. Now I was going to let it go for 6, but I'm kind of hungry. And another thing that I forgot to show you guys that I put in here were bay leaves. I also put 3 bay leaves in here as well. So I'm going to be getting those out too. But I put 3 bay leaves in here, okay? And also what I've done as well is you want to go in. I went in halfway through my cooking time and I just started skimming off some of the oil from on top, because that's what we are going to be using to dip our taco, tacos in to make the quesadillas. So you just want to go in and skim off some of the fat off the top. All right, and I just set it aside in a little bowl, as you can see. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this meat out. I'm gonna get it out. You can see it's like it's tender. It's falling off the bones now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it out, and I'll bring you guys right back. Okay. Okay, guys. So I went ahead and I took my meat out the crock pot, and now I am going to just chop my meat up. I'm trying to let it cool a little bit so I can handle it because it's really hot, but you can see how tender this meat is. Look at that. Just tender. It was just falling off the bones, but it's so tender. And it's so hot. But I'm going to let it cool just a minute until that I'm able to handle this. But oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of this chopped up. I'm just going to chop it up with my knife. Oh, can you guys see that? Just chopping it up. So I want them, kind of small. And what I'm going to do once I chop it all up, I'm going to put some back into the crock pot so that when I plate everything and put it in the bowl, everybody got some meat in their broth as well. Because that broth is banging, y'all. It's really good. And also, I will tell you guys, halfway through, when I went back in, I also went in and I checked for taste to see if I needed more salt or more black pepper or whatever it is that I wanted to put in. So I end up adding another tablespoon of that beef bouillon powder. So in all, I used 2.5 tablespoons in this dish. All right, guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this up and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring you back because I'm down to the last bit that can you guys see that? I'm trying to get really close. I'm sorry that I chopped up, but the fact that this meat is still nice and tender and it's not all dried out and stuff. So I'm just chopping it, like this. And I'm also going in because there's, some fat from some of the beef shank that I'm taking off because my husband does not like fat on it. I like it actually myself, but this meat is just so nice and just tender and it's not dried out, y'all. I cannot wait. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish cutting up this. And then when I bring you guys back, we're just going to go ahead and get ready to building these, okay? All right, I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some of this meat back into my crock pot. Gonna add a good bit in here. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's gonna be really, really nice. Okay, guys, so I'm back now. Now, most people that I've been seeing, they've been using like the corn tortillas, but I'm actually just gonna use the regular, taco shells, the soft ones, soft taco shells, because I like the way the crunch that these give. So you're gonna go ahead and just dip it into that, like so, like this, and just lay it down. And some mozzarella cheese, and I also have some Mexican cheese as well, and the mozzarella cheese that I have, I'll show you guys. It's this one. So that's the one that I'm going to be using. And I just cut some of that up. And these aren't going to take long, but I don't have this on like a high heat either. So again, and get your consomme. Just dip it. Lay it down. Flip this one over. I'm gonna go in with some of my Mexican cheese. I tend to overfill these things too, you guys, and I'll be messing my little self up trying to fold them up. I'm gonna go in with some meat. These things are so good, you guys. But I'm not all that fast, you know. I'm a little slow with it, but I like them to have a nice little crunch to them, you know. See that? Look at that. So I'm just gonna do a couple of these. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do the same thing, guys. I'm just gonna keep on repeating myself with the cheese. And I have this down low because if you have it up too high, they will definitely burn. So every now and then what I do it myself is I'll take it off, you know, for a second. I'll move it back or something. So I'm gonna put my meat on here. I'm ready to go. It's too late, man. Let me talk to Dorothea. No, man. This one I'm going to put like some onions and some cilantro on here. A little bit of onion. Some cilantro. Get it on. It's what I was meant to do, and nothing's gonna stop me. A bit of cilantro.
I guess you really are Dad's place. Tell Robert he's out. For now. Nice to see you.
Woohoo. Yeah, guys, I just do these one at a time because I would make a whole mess all over the place. So I'm just going to continue to do these, but that's basically it, guys. You guys got to try them because they are really freaking good. They really are. So I'll bring you guys back shortly. Okay, guys, so I'm back and I went ahead and I just finished making a couple of these and this is it, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready to go ahead and dig on into these. I have the broth right there that I'm going to dip them into. And I'm telling you guys, these, look at this. So freaking good. OMG. Especially this one. This one is just as cheesy as it want to be. Look at that, y'all. Go ahead, y'all. Take a bite, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. I hope you guys tried this recipe out, guys, because I tell you, these are so freaking good, so fun to make, and they're going to fill you up. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out. But as always, I hope you all stay forever blessed, y'all. It's just tea, y'all. I'm out. Oh, I'm about to put some onions on here. This is going to be good. Put a little bit of onions up on here. All of them in here. Go ahead with a little cilantro. Just a little bit. Here you go. Bam. That's all we need.
Thank you so much for watching. Stay forever blessed.